Which type of personality can you not stand at all whatsoever? People who make it a competition of who has it worse. I find this prevalent in the college environment. Like who has the heaviest workload, who's in the most debt, who's the most tired. Ditto for parents who do this. Like nobody who isn't a parent is allowed to say they're tired because they will just scoff and say, "Oh, you don't know tiredness until you have kids." Like fuck off with that BS. I have 3 kids under 3 and I'm tired AF, but I was also tired doing night shift and going to college full-time 10 years ago, so STFU. I have never once met somebody who unironically describes themselves as sassy, wasn't it? Completely self-absorbed tire fire of a person. Self-absorbed tire fire of a person may be my new favorite description ever. Those who can never be wrong. Bonus points for people pretending to be experts of something that they know nothing about, just to win a conversation. Dumb and proud of it. Someone who talks but does not listen. On top of that, someone who talks over you when you are trying to talk. Ugh. The kind of person who will tell lies about themselves to impress other people. Fuck, that's me, and then in the middle of the lie I realize that I'm lying and that I can't do shit now, so I just go on. There's probably a name for it, but I'm having trouble thinking of it. But when someone gives you too much personal information when first meeting. X. Hi, I'm Helen. Would you like a glass of water? Some juice? I always cater to guests as that's how I've been raised. I'm just a classic Southern girl and hospitality is my thing. It's how my mother raised me. So I'm just always like this. It was just my mother and I because my dad was a drug addict and extremely abusive, so I don't have a great relationship with hi monsieur anyways. Here's your glass of water. Welcome. Overshares. Sounds about right, thanks. I work in mental health and one of the downsides is whenever I go to a conference with colleagues, you can bet your ass there is at least 2 of these people at it. Sometimes they even consume the day, attempting to overshare each other about who has had the shittiest experience. Prevailed against adversity can be the most inappropriate in a formal setting. I have honestly not been to a single course where someone hasn't told me all about their childhood abuse over morning tea. Like I'm sorry and all, but it's 10 a.m. and I just want to eat the free muffins in peace. Entitled, I don't like your post. I am going to have it removed this instant. People who say, I speak English in sarcasm can already go fuck themselves. Attractive people on TikTok, Instagram, etc. that think they are talented because they stare into a camera and badly mime a popular song. They all have the same little creepy winks and tongue-out moves. And the weird head shake. So cringy. Narcissist. Good thing I'm the best at being modest. I'm just such a bitch. Haha. Can't handle me and my worst, don't deserve me at my best. Exclamation mark. Quote. Those people have no best, it's all worse all the time. Painfully unself-aware people. Unempathetic people. I am not mean, I am brutally honest. One-uppers. I despise those one ever more. Trust me, I hate them way more. I'm a mom and that's all I am. So I'm gonna tell you all about how you're not momming hard enough for your kids. Quote. I think that's a disservice to their kids, too. Like, I was an only child. Granted, but my mom had hobbies of their own that she enjoyed. Subsuming your personality into only being a mom and nothing else doesn't show your kids anything. Equals. Those guys who are really into rules and act like total dickheads if something isn't done in the exact way they would do it. Find a lot of those guys in the military. They basically have superiority complexes and put down and belittle everyone they see as below. The monsieur, I fucking hate those guys and take every opportunity to antagonize them. Monsieur, they are very easy targets. I used to have this one sergeant like that who would put down and belittle his soldiers whenever they didn't know how to do something. He'd usually even do it in front of that soldier's peers. This had an extraordinarily negative effect on morale and cohesion. Single worst leader I've ever seen. I hate everyone. I just love food. Ugh. all men, women suck type of people. Ah, the ones that think liking chicken nuggets gives them personality. Please don't hate me. It's not all religious people. But you know, the ones that feel like they gotta save you. They don't even ask what you believe. They just automatically assume you need whatever they worship. Yeah, no thanks. Yep, they're the worst. They're also the loudest. So they tend to be what everyone associates with religion, despite likely being a minority. Smugness. I got tasked with training a guy who laughs smirks when I teach him what to do. Fuck off. I was once training in a student who, whenever I told him something, would nod and say, correct, as if I had passed some test he had given me. It was so irritating. God. With people like that, I seriously wish there was a way to show them a video for themselves while they somehow get the self-awareness to realize what a moron they look like. It's the people who think smoking weed is a personality trait. Everything about them revolves around smoking weed. I personally smoke, but I've never been comfortable around the people who make their whole life about it. People who are in any sense proud of being mean or assholes. I can forgive anyone for being a jerk in some regard. We all struggle with being as good a person as we could be. But someone who not only accepts their worst tendencies, but revels in them, I don't care for that one bit. I speak my mind and don't care who I offend. People that say like, OMG I am so goofy, or I am such a crackhead, and they are actually just really annoying. People actually say, I'm such a crackhead! Exclamation mark. Because that is hilariously tone deaf. Can confirm Monsieur My Soul says this, and one day, I will end her. People who are negative towards themselves and do nothing to change it. I'm guilty of this the odd time. I'm perfectly fine hanging out with self-conscious people or those who aren't the kindest towards themselves. I'm willing to help them in any way I can and bring them up. But if they talk about how much they suck and do nothing about it, I'm gonna have to distance myself. The racist who pretends they're not racist and then gets super fucking pissed when you call them out on it. Hell, I actually have some sort of begrudging respect for someone who comes out and says that they're racist, but the fuck you. You're the racist. People can suck a bag of dicks all day long and twice on Sunday. I'm not racist. I hate everyone equally. Please excuse me. I seem to have rolled my eyes right out of their sockets. Self-aware racist people can actually be entertaining to be around. They'll put goalposts in the weirdest places. Sex is one of them. Whole lot of white supremacists married to black Hispanic people in the South. My brother-in-law is racist. He hated black people and Hispanic men. He's married to a Hispanic woman, has 3 kids, and speaks Spanish. His kids adore Hi Monsieur. My brother-in-law is also racist, except he's black and married to my white sister and strongly dislikes black people, says the N-word with a hard R when referring to them, and calls them thugs. He's an oil field worker and Trump supporter. I don't care either way. It's just an odd thing to see a black man proudly wearing a MAGA hat. To boot, he just parrots Fox News all day and talks shit about immigrants. It's the wildest fucking thing to see in a small town in Texas. People who act cool in front of their friends and then act completely different when you're alone. Is that not everyone? People do act differently around friends. Hey, I just get annoyed cause my one supposedly good guy friend used to treat me like shit around his friends, but nicely with a one-on-one convo. That person is just an asshole. The keeping up with the Jones types. They spend as much money as they can to make others jealous of their possessions, and oftentimes to their own financial detriment. People whose whole identity is taken over by something. For example, there are quite a lot of members of the LGBT community that do this. Also, people with strong political opinions are prone to this. Even though I feel it bugs me too much, and may not be totally relevant, but your comment reminded me of a proper pet peeve I have. Ever since beards became trendy again, you get these guys that'll do anything from gaming to fitness. And it'll be beard fitness or beard gaming. Like, come on man, you can do better than that surely. I used to know a guy that just had to argue everything. Didn't matter what his was. Whether he was right or wrong. He would argue it and carry on and try and twist and bend things so that if he was wrong, he sounded like he was right. I hate people like that. He even injected himself into other people's conversations to argue things. He was the most obnoxious person. This is a human disease, the antagonist. High school sports coaches that think that being an asshole is good coaching. Please say it louder for the people in the back. Bitchy, in-your-face sassy queen types. It's great to have confidence and self-esteem. But calm the fuck down, Tiffany. Attention whores. Those people who will do anything to become and remain the center of attention. They are the bane of my existence. A close second goes to anyone who says shit like, "That's a mood." Quote dot. Greater than anyone who says shit like, "That's a mood." Quote dot. If you meet someone that says that, your conversation is about to be drier than the Sahara Desert. Selfishness. Those who only think of themselves are unbearable emo. People who treat everyone else around them like crap. Well, maybe if you weren't such a disappointment, me and your mother would still be married. There's 4. Spoiled rich brats. Too happy, too tragic, whatever the "it's ma'am" type of personality is called. Too happy sad face. My old manager was like that. Couldn't get through a sentence without giggling. Whenever someone complained about something, she'd have to counter with some optimistic comment. Which is irritating. Sometimes people need to vent, and getting that kind of response just makes you feel resentful or insulted. And she was incapable of being assertive, so she was useless at getting people to do things. Toxic positivity is super unhealthy. People are allowed to hate negative emotions. My experience with those types is every so often they just explode because they've been ignoring every single negative thought forever. Women that thinks they are that *TCH. People who treat other, especially those that are serving you, poorly because you think you are superior to them, monsieur. I hate that so much. Spoil and entitled. Someone who's pessimistic and a know-it-all at the same time. And uses the whole "we're all gonna die anyways" as an excuse to be a complete asshole. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? UGHHH, and I bet they're a G too, and they watch Rick and Morty. Kill me now. That brand of hipsters that hate on people with basic taste. If the only reason you hold a minority opinion is in opposition to the majority, I don't want to talk to you. Loud and up in your face. Sassy people, like the ones that are overcompensating for their own lack of confidence, so they need to be the center of attention. Dislike popular things. Are generally pretty close-minded and know everything and why everyone else is wrong. Instead of communicating like adults, they just love to remind people of the times they were right, and are quick to diminish other people's opinions or experiences. Just generally aggressive people, the kind that are pushy, over-competitive, and just generally mellow harshing. Like, take an hour of your life and just chill for a minute. Not everything has to be done now, and nobody needs to be losing in every situation. People who try to make you feel stupid because it makes them feel big. Funny thing is, those people usually aren't very smart, just confident and don't care, see that they're dicks. I think everyone agrees the worst personality trait is being extremely selfish. Unfortunately, our whole socio-economic system is built to reward just that. So that means we democratically made a system that rewards what we hate the most. As someone who's been a people pleaser all their life, I actually have some respect for unapologetically selfish people. Everything in moderation. Sure, but it's a lot harder than you think to have the confidence to be the squeaky wheel. Conspiracy type. Like people who think delusionally and only believe what they hear first, and nothing can change their mind. It's the same type of people who browse meme subreddits and upvotes Instagram bad. People who describe themselves as having big personalities. It's inevitably just a PC way to describe an obnoxious loudmouth who thinks everyone wants to be them, and also implies that some people have small personalities, which annoys the shit out of me. For the record, I am quite loud and a total extrovert and these people exhaust even me. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.